What's up, guys? Welcome to Season 5 of the Morning Brew podcast. I'm your host, Kayla, and this week we have a very special interview. If you're a fan of 80s music, nerds, and having a good time, chances are you'll love the Spazmatics. The Spazmatics is a chain band with groups all across the United States. In this week's episode, I'm backstage interviewing Zack Weber of the Texas Spazmatics. I hope you enjoy the interview, and be sure to stay tuned afterwards for an important announcement. The Spazmatics is an 80s cover band known for their looks paying tribute to Revenge of the Nerds. Similar to Blue Man Group, the Spazmatics is a chain band that can be found nationwide. Today, I'm sitting down with Zack Weber, lead singer for the Texas Spazmatics. Zack, welcome to the show.
Howdy, thank you.
Do you want to introduce yourself to the audience real quick?
My name is Zack Weber. I've been in Austin since 2010. I've been singing for the Spazmatics since 2011. Moved here from New York, but originally from St. Louis, Missouri. So it just so happens that Jimmy, the bass player, is also from Missouri. And then, like you said, we're, I guess, what did you call it, a chain band?
Chain band, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. So we're the main Spazmatics in Texas, but there's one in like Vegas, there's one in California, there's one in Florida. We used to get booked about 400 times a year in Texas alone, just our group. So we do have understudies, and that's what we call it. It's more of like a Broadway term. I actually come from a musical theater background.
Me too.
So understudies or fill-ins or something like that. Yeah, some of those guys are from St. Louis as well. So the whole band, everyone in the band is either from Missouri or California.
Is that a coincidence that they're all from Missouri or California, or is that just...
No, well, so when I came over here and ended up getting offered the job, it was just kind of like these are guys that I'd played with and worked with before. And so, whenever something would pop up and we'd need something, a bass player would retire, and so we needed a new bass player, and so I got Jimmy, who's John Frischer, that's his real name, from St. Louis, bunch of Missouri boys. So just kind of brought them over this way because I knew that they could fill it in and do a good job. We'd all played together in other bands, and I'm a very theatrical person, and so it sort of mixed well, so it wasn't too shocking for them to come over and do the Spazmatics stuff, because I would always do a lot of antics in some of my other projects and tell jokes and stuff. So they're like, oh, this is what you've been doing, just 80s style and a little different,
little flair to it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I've got some questions to get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
What is your current song on repeat right now?
Ooh, current song. Okay, I gotta be honest with you. You're probably not expecting this answer. I don't listen to music. I know. I get shit for it all the time. But I don't really listen to music.
So what do you listen to? You like audiobooks?
I listen to podcasts.
Okay.
So this is cool. Yeah, I listen to some audiobooks. I listen to a lot of stand-up comedy too.
Okay.
So I have some favorite comedians, favorite podcasts. I'm a huge basketball fan. So most of what I listen to is basketball.
Like listening to the games?
I'll listen to the games,
and
I'll listen to people talk about the games, and then I'll listen to people talking about the people who are talking about the games. Like, I love the world of basketball. So
do you play?
Basketball is my music. I do play. I mean, I used to do some street ball. I used to play when I lived in Brooklyn. I played in high school. There's not a ton of time to play now, but whenever we play a music venue that has a hoop, sometimes out in an alley or something like that, or in a gym, we'll always play the local talent there. A couple of the guys in the band can hoop. Our sound engineer, Mike, he can hoop pretty well.
I like to pretend like I can, but really only from a distance. I can't do it up close.
It's usually pretty shocking to people too, because we'll get somewhere and then they've seen me with the neck brace on, looking like a dweeb all night, and then we'll come out and play to 21 and win.
You ever
21 zip
pool
or
shark
something.
them with the neck brace? And
Oh, I mean, I'll wear the neck brace while I play. Yeah, sometimes when we're on a break, like we'll play 2 1-hour sets and we'll have a break in between, and I'll just be in full blown costume. I'll walk right off stage.
Plays like a game of horse.
Yeah, and it turns into a performance too, because people are like, "Whoa, the singer just went off." Like, there's a couple places. There's this one place we play in Boerne, Texas, and they have a basketball court just like right there, and so I'll walk through the audience, and then we'll just get people to come out and play King of the Court, something like that.
Gosh.
And so it's free entertainment during the break.
Oh,
so.
That's good. I'm glad you can find entertainment in the middle.
But just to come up with an answer to your question, if I listen to music, really what I don't like to listen to is singers and lyrics.
Okay, you go like instrumental?
I go instrumental on it. Really, I'm just not like a huge fan of like pop music. I know that sounds cliche. So like I'll listen to, if I really want to like be a fan of music, I'll listen to like one album that I've been a big fan of is Bitches Brew by Miles Davis.
I haven't heard it, but that sounds awesome.
There's not an instrument in the world that you can hand me that I could play along to any of those songs with. It's just so far over my head. But if you take me to like a pop concert or something like that and you put me on stage and hand me any instrument on there, I could pretty much blend in, and even if I've never heard the song before, so it's a little bit less interesting for me. It's kind of like, I saw this meme one time where it was like a football player all decked out and he had a helmet on and shoulder pads, and he's in the stadium watching a football game, and the meme was like what it feels like to be a musician watching a show. And I'm like, yeah, that's...
No, I get that. When we did like musical theater, we'd have like 2 casts, and so if you go to watch the other cast, you're like doing the choreography like in your chair, right? And I'm like, this is not as fun to watch.
It's not like it's not a hater thing. It's more of like well, maybe it is, because like what it is I get a little jealous. I'm like, I can do this, I can do that. Like, let me do something. Let me grab, let me mix it. Let me do the lights. Like, let me do something like that. So it just makes me antsy that I'm not doing it. That everyone else is, watching something. Because although I don't really like to listen to music, I love to play music. And I bring up, it's like golf. Like, I meet a lot of people who love to play golf, but you're like, hey, do you watch golf? And they're like, no, that's boring. And so I'm not saying that music is boring to watch. I'm just saying, like, I can't handle it. I can't handle watching it.
It's more fun to play.
Unless, like, I'll go to some of the jazz clubs around here. Like, one place that I really like around here is the Elephant Room. I like to go in there and watch some of those guys play some like jazz standards or some, there's some really good players out there. And so I like that. I like some classical, and I love 70s instrumental funk. So like the JBs, the Meters, stuff like that. There's a band that it's a little bit more recent called Wolfpack.
Okay.
And they play a lot of like instrumental 70s funk. I mean, they'll have some singers and stuff on some tracks, but yeah, if you don't know them,
you gotta send me some of the good ones. I'll listen to them for sure.
Check it out.
That kind of brings me into the next question. So what initially drew you to music and singing, and are you self-taught?
Well, like I said, I started off in musical theater. So my dad played piano and my grandma played piano. And I remember growing up, I'm the youngest of 5, so my dad would be noodling on the piano because he would always be ready first whenever we were getting ready to go somewhere. And the tradition was, when you were ready, you'd come into the dining room where he was playing piano and kind of dance and hang out and sing along or something. Cute. And then once everybody was in there, he would finish up whatever song, and then, all right, let's go. And then, all the kids would load up into the van and we'd go someplace. So I do have a lot of special memories of my dad and my grandma playing. My great-grandma, she played organ for church, had the little foot pedals and stuff where you play the bass lines and a little drum machine.
That's so cool.
That was a lot of fun. She'd give us pots and pans and tambourines and stuff to jam along. My mom was a drum major. So, there were those influences. But yeah, being the youngest, I always wanted to like be cool and figure out ways to have an in with my older siblings. And so, music was a huge part of their lives. So my oldest sister, Shonda, she was a big fan of Metallica. So when I was really little, I used to run around in diapers and headbang to Metallica.
I was headbanging to Green Day when I was little.
So my sister Bree introduced me. So Metallica was the first band that got me into it. That was my oldest sister, Shonda. And then the second band I got introduced to was Green Day by my sister Bree. And then my sister Tess introduced me to Jack Johnson. And it was around that time, my brother-in-law at the time played guitar, and he came over one time and played it, and I'm like, whoa, that looks so cool. Like, you're so lucky that you can play that cool looking thing. And like, so I immediately went out and got a guitar, and before I learned anything else, the first thing I learned was Nothing Else Matters, which is a bit of a, like, obviously the intro, boom, boom. You play guitar? I see you nodding over there. Yeah, so like it's all open strings until you get going, so that also like made me, just playing the open string part, I was like, whoa, I'm kind of like
string instruments are so complex to me. I play drums. I'm trying to learn like bass and ukulele. The only thing I could play is like the first like 4 notes of like the SpongeBob, like the instrumental. Yep, that's the only thing I could play.
You should get a uke bass. Those things are pretty sweet. Yeah, so so to answer your question, so I was self-taught for a bit, but I took acting lessons, dance lessons, vocal lessons, and then I ended up, I was like a theater kid. Like, I don't know if you see like pageant moms and their kids. That was like me with theater, and it was like me and my mom against the world. And so, I literally didn't do anything but like after school vocal lessons, guitar lessons, and then I would do like all the extracurricular choirs and stuff, the show choirs and things like that. So I took some music theory, I took guitar lessons, my guitar instructor Bob, rest in peace, and I have my vocal teacher Kate Cuba back in Missouri. So it's interesting because I learned how to like record music. I traded in my go-kart for like a mixer, and my brother-in-law helped build this computer. We got like a bunch of magazines and stuff on how to record music. And so I used to record albums every single week. So it's funny to listen to the songs that I would write and record before I started taking like more in-depth musical lessons. Yeah, well, my mom kept all of them. I didn't have any of them, and then at one point my mom passed away, and we were going through all her things, and she had in her vanity, in all the drawers, she had like something like 50 CDs that I made.
Wow.
And so so me and my dad were popping those in and listening to them, and it's wild to like hear a song that like you completely forgot how it goes, or you don't even remember writing it, and just but there's some good stuff on there. So so I was self-taught for a bit, and then took a bunch of lessons. So wow, I'm taking a long time to answer your questions here.
No, that's actually a good thing.
We're like 3 questions in, we got 97 to go.
Well, so anyone who's seen the Spazmatics perform is already familiar with the signature look of the band, but for people who aren't familiar, it's like neck braces, knee pads, taped glasses, the signature nerd look. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering, how do each of you come up with your unique nerd personality, and does Zeke have a backstory?
That's a good question. So, well, our manager sort of decided that the singer would wear a neck brace, that the guitar player would wear like the goggles and like the sort of, the sports goggles, ping pong guy, and that the drummer would wear like a spinny hat, and the bass player would wear a helmet. And so I'm pretty sure that was like our manager's idea. So our manager, Roger Sauce, he created the concept, like, hey, I have this concept for a band called the Spazmatics. He came up with the name too, which, by the way, I always thought was such a great name.
It's a like great name, yeah.
3 different like semi-nerdy words, combined. So, and so from there, and it's, the concept was, this guy's wearing this kind of outfit, this guy's wearing this kind of outfit. It's like Revenge of the Nerds, and we're going to be playing 80s music. And so that's sort of the idea, across the U.S. So Spazmatics is owned by a company called Perfect World Entertainment. But with each sort of individual Spazmatics, they sort of like develop a show. And so what we did is we took that baton, and I really like stand-up comedy. So I was like, I want to do away with set lists, because I just I don't like it when there's set lists on the stage and you're stuck looking at a set list, and
Gotcha.
And so I was like, what I want to do is every song that we add, I'm going to write like 1, 2, 3 jokes about it. So when we get done playing a song, I'm just going to start telling a joke.
Yeah, no, the jokes are
and so
a huge part.
When I start telling a joke, that signals to the other guys what song we're going to play next.
I got like keywords.
And so, after a while, like sometimes you'll come up with one joke, but then like after like a year, especially some of the residencies where we've played, 6, 7, 8 times that year, it's just like, all right, let me write another joke, to go along with it. Because then it would get to the point to where at some parts there'd be people yelling out the punchline or something. And I was like, well, I get that that's fun for them to be like, yeah. Because so Jimmy and I have this thing where we're really good friends. Sure, I comb his hair. Sure, he massages my feet. We finish each other's, and then he says sentences, and I say orgasms, and and then I'm like, wait, what did you say? What did you say? So,
whoa, wait a minute.
But even with like a joke like that, people would be like orgasms, and it's just like, all right, well, you kind of ruin it for. So we try and switch it around.
Gotcha.
I do have. Every once in a while, there'll be somebody that's like, hey, you guys play the same 110 songs and you tell the same, 200 jokes. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, we're not writing, we're not learning a new song every day.
That's the shtick, bro.
Like, if you go see Taylor Swift 80 times, at some point do you go, hey, Taylor, you're playing the same songs that you've already written.
You did Blank Space yesterday.
It's the same lighting that it was earlier this year when I went inside. So it's just like, if you, and we want people to come all the time. We do have some fans that'll come all the time. And so that's why I started to write multiple jokes for some of the songs. And I tell the guys like, hey, I'm going to do this joke for this song now, just to switch it up. But we definitely have some Spaz fanatics that come. Like here we have people that come every Wednesday, Tay knows. And yeah, at all the residencies we play, we'll have little groups. There's a group called that I coined the Spazmatics, because there's these chicks that would come out and they'd make these shirts, and for every show they'd come to, they'd make a different shirt.
That's cute.
And so one of them would take a picture with me, and then she'd show up next week, and that picture that we took would be on there, and I'd be like, well, let's take a picture. Together with you wearing that shirt, and so then she'd come back and have that picture, and so it went like,
oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I think we got about 14 deep before you couldn't really see what was going on
I might
anymore.
have to steal that sometime.
And then there's Spaz Fanatics, which is another group. There's just some groups that come out, and it's cool. I've been doing this for going on about 15 years. At some point you just naturally become pretty good friends with these people, and you follow them, you catch up to them, and you watch their kids kind of grow up and graduate and stuff, and then you become friends with them, and like, oh man, I remember taking a picture with you, and blah blah blah. And so when you see people who come to like every show, it's fun to try and like throw in something different, or like try and do something to make them laugh, because they've seen it a couple times. But I feel like most of our shows, it's always kind of 50-50. I feel like people will come see us and they'll be like, oh, that's neat. I need to bring, so-and-so next time. And so then they'll come. And so then it's this person's second time seeing it, this person's first time. And then that person will be like, oh, yeah, my family's coming to town. I'll bring them.
Nice.
So it's always like half the audience has seen the show, and, the other half has never seen it before. So, it wouldn't make sense to completely switch it up, because then people would be like, well, I brought them because what I saw last week, I wanted them to see that. We have a motto that says you can't please everybody,
right?
But you can annoy everybody. And so that's our motto. So we try and annoy everybody.
That's a great motto. Do you have any like craziest audience or fan encounters? I'm sure there's some crazy drunk people after 15 years of performing.
Yeah, I can tell you their names.
Expose them. No, you don't have to.
Shout out to Linda. Linda was our super fan. She'd been to how many shows? She went to about 200 shows. Like Austin's motto is keep Austin weird, right? And you've seen what we do. We keep it weird. And so I remember one time, Lynn had been to a bunch of shows, and she comes from a musical theater background too. She made these little like figurines of us one time, and so we're like, oh, Zeke action figure, it was kind of funny. And she would always make all these shirts. And, someone was asking me about her one time, and I was like, oh yeah, Linda, she's crazy. Yeah, she's great. And then next time I saw her, she's like, hey, what's this I hear about you're saying I'm crazy or something? And I was like, well, Linda, you're crazy. I was like, but that's great. Like, and so I was like, yeah, crazy's fun. Like, you're fun.
No, good crazy.
So, our super fanatics, they're they're a little crazy, but that's, that's what super fanatics are, and we love that. They're our most coveted fans is our crazy fanatics. But as far as Tay can tell you, Tay's run security for us the longest time. So we play every Wednesday at Speakeasy. Since 2004, the Spazmatics have played every Wednesday. I feel like that doesn't get talked about a lot. That's
really impressive.
That's 21 years of a band
time.
Consistently playing every single Wednesday at a spot. So we've been around. We're still playing every single Wednesday. But so Tay used to be our security guy at the last place. I don't know what's some crazy stories. Yeah, there was okay. I remember one. Were you there for roller derby girls? There were these roller derby girls that they came from some roller derby championship, and they were all hyped up on probably Coke. Can I say that?
You can say that. Yeah. You can say whatever.
They were probably hyped up on what I would imagine to be cocaine.
Were they wearing the rollerblades?
They weren't wearing the rollerblades, but you could tell that they were at least a women's rugby team. You're like, these are some gals, and they were. They started picking up a fight.
Oh my God.
all kinds of
no.
hell broke loose. It was during I Love Rock and Roll. So,
that's a great song to punch people to.
You know what I mean? And so it was all these girls were fighting, and so we had to stop the song, and the bouncers are coming in, and it's not every day that you're trying to hold back some girls from breaking some noses, and
that's crazy.
So yeah, it was a scene. So that was a wild one. I don't know. Honestly, there's a lot. Up until about COVID, we would play about 250 shows a year. After COVID, it's gone down a little bit, but I think we did 195 or something in this past year.
That's still a lot.
Or at least that's how many I did. So yeah, with that many shows, you see a lot of stuff. We'll play weddings, corporate events. Sometimes we'll get flown out of state or even out of the country. My favorite city that I've ever played in was Monterrey.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And that was a blast. I mean, there's some there's even some stories that even having you give me the green light to talk about, I probably still can't talk about. But there's some pretty wild ones. Most of them are all in good fun. Every once in a while, it's a little roller derby scene.
Crazy.
We stay safe.
Good. And so you kind of mentioned this, but the Spazmatics name, I'm assuming, kind of stems from the word spaz. So the follow-up question is, what is your favorite insult?
My favorite insult? I don't know. There's so many good insults. Really, most of the jokes that I write are at Jimmy's expense or Ralphie's expense. I have this rule that I never make fun of Bjorn. So, Bjorn's been a staple of the band. He's been it the longest. He's the band leader. And so it's actually Bjorn who sort of discovered me, because they had a different singer at first. He was actually the original singer for Warrant, and his name is Adam, good dude. But he was retiring and moving on to other things, and it just so happened that was right around the time that I moved from Brooklyn to Austin. And so again, I told you I used to do a lot of antics. So my buddy, his dad was pretty high up at Anheuser-Busch, and so he was a bit of a knucklehead. So he used to take his dad's credit card and take his friends on a shopping spree to Walmart and stuff like that. And his dad would be like, "Oh, dang it," and he'd get mad, but most people, they'd do that and they'd be in huge trouble. But it was just God dang it, And so we started this thing to where I became a keyboard DJ. I don't know if you ever saw Friends, but with Ross, where he would, So he's like, man, it would be fun if we threw parties and you keyboard DJ. And so I would just learn really cheesy versions of first of all, I'd play all the classics, the Duck Dance.
Nice.
The Electric Slide, stuff like that. The Macarena. But then I would do stuff like Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys. And I'd have
nice.
versions.
Okay.
So I'd have a drum pad, a keyboard, a synthesizer, like a guitar, a bass guitar, and I would like loop all this stuff, but it would be different themes. So one time it was we called it, I guess at the time, it might not be politically correct anymore. I don't even know if I should care, but it was called White Trash Party. So everyone dressed.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I have a playlist called Songs That Get White People Turned, and they're all bangers.
Yeah. So I came dressed as Joe Dirt, and we did that. And then we had another one that was like a classical one. I came dressed as Beethoven.
Oh my God.
Did that. So there was one where it was like a nerd prom, and so I was nerded out, you know, with the glasses and everything like that. And I already forget what the hell the question was.
What's your favorite insult?
Favorite insult? Oh my God! How did we get here? Oh man. Okay. My favorite insult. So anyway, yeah, scratch everything I was just saying. God. My favorite insult that I've gotten? I mean, so, you know, I'm on stage with the microphone, so I can't really hear people if they insult me. I can read it online. Usually by the time it gets to like online, it's like, you know, trolling, you know? So it's not even like funny.
Haters mean that you've made it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll hear musicians, you know, sometimes be like, oh, 80s cover band, stupid, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, well, you paid to come out to the show, and you know,
like that's literally.
And so there have literally been times where, you know, because I did our social media and I had to stop. I passed it on to our tech now, so he does it because he doesn't have a horse in the race. He just gets it done. But I used to do that. Kevin Durant type of stuff where I'd get on and I would respond to people, you know.
You should, honestly.
And I would tell people, there'd be people and be like, come on out, like bring a guitar, like I will challenge you. You pick the song, like you pick the song and you challenge.
Awesome,
or you come out, you pick a song for me to sing and I'll pick a song for you to sing. And we'll make it part of the show. I will challenge you on stage in front of thousands of people.
But they got real quiet, huh?
And I've done it 3 times. And no one's ever taken us up on it. So, you know.
Guess that shows you
it used to be called like headhunting, to where like you'd show up to a show where there's another band and you just kind of like sit up and you like sort of outdo it, like impromptu battle of the bands.
I gotcha. Okay.
So, you know, every once in a while there would be someone
I could never be
talking
that
that shit, and you know, we're all, you know, I think we're all pretty good. I mean, I don't know. That probably sounds shitty, but you know, at the same time, it's just like you're supposed to think that. Like, this is what I've been doing all my life. If I can't say that I'm fucking awesome at it by now, what the fuck am I doing still doing it? So there's that. I got called. I'll finally answer your question now. Somebody said that I looked like the guy from Blue's Clues one time when I was wearing this.
Wait, because Steve is the good one. If they said Joe, that would be more of an insult.
Who's the first one?
Steve.
Steve
is why I have abandonment issues. Went to college and never came back. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, so I've been told that. I used to purposefully, shout out to my hairstylist. I used to make my hairstylist give me these goofy ass haircuts.
Oh my God.
So I would have them give me like a bowl cut with like the undercut thing.
Oh, nice.
And I would show out. And mullets before that actually became like
before
really
it came
cool.
back.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So now it just looked like I was in style. Yeah, I used to like, you know, because when we were doing like 250 shows a year, there's more days where I'm being a spasmatic than where I'm being myself, you know. So yeah, so I mean, I welcome it. I mean, you can be mean if it's funny. That's sort of my philosophy.
I think a roast is funny.
Yeah,
a roast is good.
A roast is funny. And so, you know, the thing about, because I'll make fun of audience members and stuff. So, okay, you remember this one, Tay? This was like 2 weeks ago. We do this skit called Celebrity Lookalike.
Oh, great.
Where I'll go around and I'll pick people out. Now the trick is, whatever you're saying, somebody, you got to say like, you look like a young, handsome, or a young. You know, you can't just say like, you look like John C. Reilly. You got to say like, you got to say like, you know what I'm saying? See, there you go.
Fuck.
But you got to like.
Damn, that was good.
So, and a lot of times, like people know that like, people know that we do jokes like that, and you know, I'm constantly making fun of Jimmy, like awesome. Constantly, and you know, constantly making fun of Ralphie, and so. So I think the rule for a lot of comedians is you got to start off making fun of yourself, or if you're in a band making fun of yourself and the other guys in the band. You can't just like I can't just start telling Asian jokes and be a white guy on stage. Like I have to make fun of white people. Yes, you can. See, that's how it works. So I gotta make fun of myself quite a bit first, and then sort of playfully. And again, if it's funny, then it's good. If you tell a joke making fun of somebody or something, and it's not funny, then that's when you look like a jackass. Yeah, so 2 weeks ago, we were doing this skit called Celebrity Lookalike. And I'm looking around, and there's this table full of these white women with blonde hair and glasses. And there was like 5 of them. And so, I'm going around, and I'm like, we had one guy look like Steve Jobs, like a young, handsome Steve Jobs. He just had a turtleneck on and bangs. That was it. And then there was a Mark Zuckerberg, because he had curly hair. And he had a bit of a jaunty face. And so at one point I look over, and there's all these, like 5 of them, am I wrong? And so they all had blonde hair, and they're all like, to be fair, they're all good looking ladies. They're probably in their 30s and 40s, maybe one of them was in their 50s. But I was like, we got a whole gaggle of Martha Stewarts over there.
Oh my God.
And everybody laughed, everyone thought it was funny. And up until that point, I had sort of like gone around, picked out a few people, made fun of some people. This was like 35 minutes in, I had already made fun of Jimmy like 50 times, and they laughed at all of them. But when I called them a gaggle full of Martha Stewarts, they got upset.
Oh, great.
And so, then Jimmy said something, and then they're like, "Hey, if you guys make another joke like that, we're gonna leave." And I'm like, "Look, I look like the guy from Blue's Clues. Jimmy looks like Beaker from the Muppets.
Oh my God."
I was like, and by the way, Martha Stewart could get it. Like I didn't say old decrepit deathbed Martha Stewart.
That's fact.
When I said he looked like Steve Jobs, I didn't say like deathbed Steve Jobs. I said,
You didn't say he looks ugly.
Yeah. I said,
like Steve Jobs.
I guess the thing is like when you mention someone who's alive, people think you mean like as they currently are.
Oh.
And so anyway, so they got upset and they left.
Oh my God, that's funny. They can't take it.
I guess they couldn't take it. We've had some people leave. There's a girl and a guy, good-looking couple. Maybe I didn't know if they're a couple or not.
Sisters or.
But they looked a lot alike, and they were celebrating something, and I was like, "Oh, you guys, brother and sister, you guys look like you're what is it called? Whatever twins."
Fraternal twins.
Fraternal twins.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. And I was like, oh, you guys might want to do the 23andMe because, and they're like, no, we're celebrating getting engaged. I'm like, oh, okay,
ask if they're from Alabama.
Okay, so listen, so you nailed it. So I go, where are y'all from? And they go, Alabama. And I go, well, that explains it. I was like, you guys are cousins.
You can be both.
They got so mad that they went and got a refund. They found our manager's number, called him up. They wrote all this hateful shit and stuff on our page and like this bad review. So, I guess I say all that to say, if you're out there and you're listening and you come to a show, just chill, just calm down, just relax, just have fun. Yeah.
For sure.
We're all making fun of ourselves up here,
Okay, well, I'm going to put you on the spot then a little bit.
Okay.
This is also stereotyping, so this is probably bad of me,
Perfect.
but
no, I love
you're attractive.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What is the nerdiest thing you've ever actually done?
I mean, I told you I was like a musical theater kid growing up.
Okay, but me too. Does that count?
I mean, I feel like most people would say that counts, right? I mean, I took tap lessons, jazz, ballet lessons.
Okay.
All my guy friends in high school used to make fun of me because I took ballet. They're just like, oh man, blah blah blah. And this was back when this is back when you could make fun of a guy for being in ballet. I think
dancers are ripped.
Stared away from that. So, anyway, they're all making fun of me, and they were just relentless. And so one day I was like, "You guys, come with me to my ballet class. just watch, and then afterwards, just if you want to keep making fun of me, that's fine." So they all came out, and they realized that it was me and 40 really cute, fit girls. And so whenever we had to do lifts, who was doing the lifts? I was doing the lifts. I got to dance with all of them. I got to flirt with all of them.
Who's laughing
And they were like,
now?
oh my God. And so then when I showed up at school next, they were like, yo, Weber is a genius. He is solved
We're
it.
all taking
He's
ballet.
figured this out.
Oh my God.
And so I dated a dancer for 7 years after that.
Nice.
So that was kind of nerdy. Does that work? Does that answer your question? Was
that count? I'm like,
enough?
I think I beat you because I was playing Pokemon Go before we got here. But
Pokemon Go. That's cool. I never.
Is it though?
See, Pokemon was just like, I was like Ninja Turtles, and then I was like an adult, and then Pokemon. Not that you can't be an adult and do that, but I just missed the bus on like Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon.
I've got a younger brother.
Yes,
I'm blaming him for it.
I missed all that stuff. So, yeah, I feel bad too, especially like when I, at moments being single and in the dating scene, and like there's always some like cute girl, and you're like, oh yeah, and you like get rolling, and she's like, what do you know about anime? And I'm like, nothing.
I'm Asian, and
then it's
anime's a
over.
deal
And
breaker
I'm like,
for me.
whoa, anime is that serious? Oh my god, like.
I've disgraced my ancestors and their cattle. I watch no anime.
No anime. Yeah, well, to this day I've never seen any anime. Looks fun, I guess.
Anyways, I know you have to go soon, so I'll end with our Barnes Courtney classic question. Justin knows what this is. Trying to settle a debate amongst the listeners. Are you familiar with the M&Ms, like the characters?
Okay, yeah.
I could pull up a picture if needed.
Yeah.
Which M&M is the sexiest? There's a heated debate between green and brown. But don't let that discourage you from being a weirdo and picking like red or something.
As a straight guy, which I mean, I don't see any biology
like
on these M&Ms. If they did, that would be weird.
Like just legs.
And by the way, I'm not above.
Hey, what's your answer?
I'm not above saying a guy's attractive, but.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, a picture.
See, we've got either legs or sexy librarian.
Okay.
So yeah. I mean, you could throw in the other ones too, but the other ones are dudes. I need Tay's answer too. I gotta figure this out.
Here's the thing. I happen to like a little bit of a tan.
A melanin?
Outer casing.
You a melanin kind of guy?
I like a little bit of darkness, a little bit of tan. So I feel like we're treading in some territory here that might not.
No, there's no race on the M&Ms, I think.
Tay says stop being horny, they're cartoons.
Tay is looking a little too hard into this.
No, but like green or brown.
I mean, I'm gonna go brown.
Tay does not want to answer this question. A fair answer.
I can say it. I like some chocolate.
All right, so we're going brown then. All right. Okay. Last thing, any socials you want to plug? Any upcoming Texas gigs for Texas listeners? Closing remarks.
Okay, for Texas listeners, we are at Speakeasy right now. And Speakeasy is a historic building on South Congress. Like I was telling you guys before we started recording, it is a part of the Haunted Tour. It is a haunted building. It's a very cool building. There's the stage that's on the street. Then they have a little Speakeasy Jazz Club in the back. Then they have the ballroom, which is where we're at now, which is where they get some more of the national acts, or when we have a lot of buyouts and stuff, Spaz will play here. They have a game room with a bowling alley.
That's dope.
Ping pong tables, shuffleboard. They have a bunch of old video game consoles, foosball, one little private bar with some pretty neat top shelf stuff. I'm a whiskey and tequila guy. And then they have an upstairs, which looks over downtown, where they usually have like DJs and throw parties and stuff like that. We play here every single Wednesday. So that would be, a show for sure to tell everybody to come to. I know Wednesdays isn't like the most convenient. Wednesday we start at like 9:30, 9:45. So, but if you got family in town or something like that, and it's a Wednesday, you're looking for something to do, you don't have work the next day, we get, and it's 18 and up. So if
I
you
do enjoy that.
If you show, we changed that. We changed that like what was that, a year or two ago, just to because there's just not a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, comparatively, Austin has a ton of stuff to do than Timbuktu, Texas.
Sure.
But but for being Austin, being downtown, we just realized that there wasn't a ton of places that the college kids could go. So so we bumped it to 18 and up, and if you bring a student ID, you get what, 50% off, something like that? Yeah, something. So, so yeah, we play here every Wednesday, and a couple times a year we'll play here on the weekends and like a Friday or a Saturday. And to find that out, you can go to Instagram, the Spazmatics Texas, Spazmatics, the Spazmatics Texas. That's us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. I think we started like a TikTok and a X and stuff like that, but to be honest with you, I used to run it. I haven't logged into it in 4 years, so you can follow us on there, but there's not going to be nothing there. So, so Instagram or Facebook, and yeah, and if you're in Austin, Texas, come out to a Speakeasy every Wednesday.
They can book you guys too, right? For like, I don't know.
Oh, they can definitely book
Weddings.
us. Yeah, our booking information is on our Instagram and our Facebook. You just hit up our manager, Roger Sauce, at I think it's at iCloud or something like that. Yeah, we play all kinds of events. Like I said, we play birthday parties, high school reunions. We've played some bat mitzvahs, quinceañeras. We've played. We've even played more than one like little divorce party type of thing.
That's so fucking cool.
So like and we play all over Texas. Like I said, we play in Corpus. We always play a place called Brewster Street. We always play the Corpus Christi Hooks baseball games out there. Out in Houston, we play Scout Bar. We also played the Sugarland Space Cowboys, used to be the Skeeters baseball team out there. Closer to San Marcos, we play in Selma, our Church, Texas, at a place called Blue Bonnet Palace. Up in Dallas, we got some places that we play out there. One of them just closed down. But yeah, it's all on our website. We pin our calendar to the top of our Instagram and our Facebook page. And if you have any questions, you can DM us at Instagram or on Facebook. There's like a 20% chance that it'll be me who's responding. But my handle is ZCKWBR. And yeah, if you want to follow me, send me dog videos. That's all I really care about. It's a fair trade. Yeah, I have a dog. Oh, shout out to Francois. That's my dog. That's my whole life.
Hi, Francois. Amazing. All right. Well, Zach, thank you so much. I'll let you get ready for the show.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for doing this. And you guys are going to check out the show. So,
I'm pumped.
5 stars, hopefully.
Oh, yeah,
5-star review. Anyway, all right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all for today's episode, guys, but before you leave, I'm so excited to tell you that new episodes will be posted every other Friday this year. You'll be getting more of the same content, but in higher quality. If you enjoyed this episode, share the podcast with a friend and leave a review. Make sure you're subscribed and following our socials so you don't miss out. Be sure to follow Zack and the Spazmatics as well. If they perform in an area near you, you won't want to miss another show. Thanks for listening, and tune back in 2 weeks.